Hi, this is Katy. Just been out for a run in the Newton Motion 4 shoes. On here. There we go. It's quite cold out today, a little bit icy on the ground, wet and icy actually because the sun's out, so some of those icy bits are melting. And it's quite slippy underfoot. Normally be quite hard work, I suppose, running the route I've run. And I noticed in the Motion 4s they've got pretty good grip on the bottom. You can see the grip on the lugs here and all that farm mud that I've brought back with me. So they felt pretty good, quite sure-footed underneath. There were a couple of moments that felt a little bit slippy, but that's ice, I think. I took these out for a longer run earlier this week, tried them out in the rain because it was raining when I went for that run, and they felt really sure-footed in the rain. Yeah, I was really confident in the grip on the bottom of them, so that's good. When I first put them on, first took them out of the box, I thought how solid these feel in the midfoot there, and if we push on them, there's movement, particularly in this toe end. They're quite solid through here, and while running, that was noticeable. They felt very stable all the way through the stride, and seemed to force you to run off the big toe at the front, which for me is a really good thing because of my right foot. I've got a tendency for the foot to want to roll outwards, and I really couldn't roll outwards at all with this foot. It kept me on that big toe and pushing off through the big toe. They, on the heel here, I'll show you on this one while I'm still wearing it, there's not a lot going on in sort of the heel around the Achilles there. So if you're the kind of person that likes grip or likes a really tight feeling, to be able to feel the shoe there at the back of the heel, this would not be the one for you, because it feels very shallow in the heel. You can't really notice it. For me, I really like that feeling of not too much going on there in that heel bit. So lacing wise, it's got these two-tone laces, which are quite nice. They look quite attractive. At the side, the pinker tone is thinner, and that seems to help the lace grip when you tie it up in a bow, which is good. I did find this one difficult to get the tightness right, and if I just tip my foot up here and show you what's going on with the tongue, you can see that the tongue has rotated a little bit out towards the outside of my foot. I'm not so keen on that. I had to stop a couple of times to sort of tighten the shoe and move the tongue around a little bit. Not so bad over the shorter distance that I've done today, but over a longer distance, I think that tongue and the movement in the tongue would get quite annoying. What I would probably do would be get some elastic laces, some lock laces to put across here to maintain that tightness all the way through. Hopefully that would help keep that tongue more central. So I really enjoyed that these are so stable and that they were forcing me or assisting me more like to run off the toe. That felt great because I could feel a lot of energy in my stride. But when I stopped to adjust the laces and tighten them up at the top here, it tightened them all the way down through onto the forefoot, which made the toe box feel slightly narrower. Now, if I was to compare with previous models, I'd say the toe box feels wider in these initially than previous ones, which is good. It lets the toes splay out. But when I tried to change the balance to get the balance of tightness at the top here, so that the shoe felt better fitting, it tightened it all the way along across the top here, and then that toe box felt a bit narrower. So it'll be interesting to keep playing with the shoe laces a little bit and the lacing of them to see if I can get the balance right. On that notion of the toe box feeling narrower, sizing wise, perhaps These are a little on the small side for me. These are a UK 7 size. Now normally I'm around about a 6.5. So 7s can be on the roomy side for me, but these definitely are not, and I'd be really interested to see or to feel what the next size up was like on my foot, and if that gave me the extra space in this toe box here to really take advantage of that, the fact that these control the motion through the big toe. Be interesting to see what that felt like. The lugs on the bottom feel great in these, like I said before, really nice and grippy. From an aesthetic point of view, between the lugs, there's this reflective detailing. I don't know how much of that you see when you're out running, but it looks pretty cool. There's some other reflective detailings here and along the toe, the toe here. The tongue that we were talking about earlier has this kind of silvery reflective-ish appearance, and there's some pretty cool Newton logos going on in here and on the heel, this reflective part as well. What else? That's it, I think. All in all, fairly impressed with the Newton motion. For a longer run on flat, straight road, these are really good because they help, or they seem to help, pushing off through the toe and maintaining a consistent stride. For anything with lots of turns, changes in direction, they were so stable that moving and changing or going around corners, I couldn't hold the speed through the corners, so I wouldn't choose these for anything more technical. Yeah, pretty good.